that is unique to NASCAR. Team radio, people can listen to it, and fans have said, why do you push the button? So, kind of just share, whether you push it or whether you don't push it, why? What is the logic and reasoning behind that?
Well, usually if you push the button, it's because you want them to hear it. You want the message to get relayed through the other team. That really is the only reason. I mean, it's why we make verbal threats that, when we get back to that guy, we're going to get him or whatever. Like, you're wanting the other side to hear it. That way they understand you're pissed.
Said you oversold your estimate by $2 million. Did you hear his comments at all?
Well, I'm now a 5-year experienced team owner, so I think I know what it costs.
So why do you think, it seemed like I've heard like 5 different things on what people actually thought they were going to be able to, even Kyle Busch said, they're going to let us open up the engines, which didn't sound like that was going to be a thing.
Right.
You thought it was one thing.
I think it was just, right. I think that it was a lot of confusion in it, a lot of it because it was vague. Obviously, I saw a sheet which said, here's what we're thinking. And when I look at the sheet, there was going to be a lot that could be altered. And yes, it's single source parts, but if you're only teching, they listed the items in which they would tech, we're going to mess around in all those other areas, and we're going to do things to stuff that they're not looking at. So again, I think a large part of the cost, baked in. Sure, certainly, if we didn't have to, junk up 3 cars, the cost of that goes down. But still, financially, it doesn't make sense if the R&D itself would just cost a lot of money. I think initially when they had conversations, it was Chad Knaus and Travis Geisler that met with NASCAR and said, it's going to cost a lot. And you got to trust those guys. They've been doing this for far longer than I have. So Gibbs, same thing. They would spend a lot of money to, no one wants to just, yes, I understand what's your option to spend, but we don't all show up to just, show up. We go to compete. And unfortunately, it would just be an arms race of who would be willing to spend the most.
So essentially what you're saying is, they might say, we're only going to let you do this area. But as soon as they say, we're not going to tech you guys, then all the teams go, cool,
correct.
We're going to go make our own stuff.
Yeah, that's why it's, in theory, I hear what he's saying, but he's not correct in the sense of, when you just list this, there's 1,000 other things that we are going to tinker with that costs a lot of money to research and develop.
It's for this.
Kansas for the finish,
For most of the rules, many of the rules in the rule book was one of the ones saying, "Hey, let's not do this because it's too expensive."
I think that when you take on a different role, right? When you're a crew chief, you really don't care that much about the books. I don't think. But when you have a position like Chad has, or Dave Rogers has, or now Chris Gabehart, they do have to manage what they spend their money on each year. So certainly you have a different perspective of it. But again, it certainly was not going to save anyone anything. That part is not right.
Would such a race be more appealing if it was for points and not just an exhibition? Would it be more appealing to the teams if that was the case?
No, not really. No. I think that there's certainly validity in trying to get something to move the needle on the short track program. I think it still comes down to getting rid of the underbody downforce and putting it on the overbody and taking Doug Yates' advice.
Kyle Busch turned 40. So do you have any advice for racing in your 40s?
To me, it's just taking care of your body more. Everyone's different. Everyone's taken different hits throughout their career. But for me personally, it just, my body really changed at 40 to make it to where, I had to do just tons more maintenance. But, he's doing everything that, he's still as good of a driver as I think he's been in the last 10 years. It's just, sometimes you get to a car that doesn't necessarily like your style, and you have to adapt.
I'm talking about the car, the next gen car, not an RCR car.
Yes, yeah.
What's an amount for the All-Star race that you think would be suitable for the prize winner?
I don't know. I think $1 is now $3 today, 30 years ago, so it's probably $3 million.
Denny, that finish last year with Buescher and Larson,
know that one detrimental weekend, if you choose to wreck out because you made a ridiculous move, that has long-term implications. Now it doesn't, right? I mean, we didn't win today. We didn't get our 5 bonus points. It's not a big deal, right? It certainly actually makes it more valuable to win in the regular season if you're not going to be if you're not going to be one of the guys that win a lot. You got to win in the first 26, or else you're going to find yourself in a tough spot points-wise. So it is just a weird way that we do things, that some wins are just way more valuable than others. Long term, to add kind of to Dale Jr.'s thing is that maybe we should, once you're eliminated, go back to wherever you were and put you back in the pool of points, so where someone doesn't. You literally could finish last every race, win one, and you're going to be 16th in points at worst, and that it just doesn't seem fair to the guys that really perform well for 35, 36 races.
Next Friday is the appeal hearing, so are you anxious, nervous?
No.
Is it just another step in the process?
Yeah.
How do you view it?
Yeah, certainly. It is just another step, but not anxious nor nervous.
Confident?
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Larson and Suarez about going down to Mexico a little bit early, but to get acclimated to the elevations. Have you thought about that?
I have. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was because I was just younger, but I didn't notice much when I ran there 18 years ago, whatever it was. But I used to be able to get away with a lot of extracurricular stuff, nights before races than what I can now. So I don't know. I just think it's probably going to be different for everyone. I mean, some people, even the young guys, die of heat unless they have their cool shirt. And it's so just the way people acclimate to different conditions is all different. So I think some people I know are going to go to higher elevation for a few days before to try to get acclimated. But I think I'm gonna wing it.
What about the car? They're saying that could play an issue with horsepower, 50, as much as 50 or more.
Yeah, I mean, all those things play a factor in how these engine guys tune the maps, all those things. So certainly we could see some difference there. I don't think you'll see anything on the track as far as differences, but certainly it plays a factor. Elevation plays a factor in all kinds of different parts of the car.
The Vivid EV Anthem is the essence of American spirit. Made with lithium battery technology, this neighborhood electric vehicle features vibrant colors, diamond stitch seats, and seats up to 6. It isn't just made in America, it's made for America.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos. And if you like us, make sure to hit that subscribe button.